And late this evening, President Trump and White House accounts posted a video statement on social media addressing the shooting.
The president called Kirk a martyr.
Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close.
The president blamed today's shooting on what he called violent rhetoric, but only that coming from his political opponents. Flags were ordered at half-staff in honor of Charlie Kirk. This shooting is the latest in a string of recent violent incidents involving political figures.
Earlier this summer, a gunman shot and killed a Minnesota state representative and injured another. This week, jury selection began for a man accused of plotting to kill President Trump. Fox 4's Amelia Jones joining us now with more on this. Amelia.
Heather, Steve, while we don't yet know information about the suspect or a motive, Charlie Kirk was a highly political figure, and political violence has been on the rise in recent years. Wednesday's fatal shooting of right-wing political activist Charlie Kirk is just the latest act of violence against a political figure in the U.S. In June, a gunman assassinated former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman, a Democrat, and shot another Democrat state leader. Authorities say he had a list of other Democrat targets. Last month, a gunman opened fire on the CDC headquarters in Atlanta, killing a police officer because he was angry about the COVID vaccine. And right now, a trial is underway for a man accused of plotting the assassination of President Donald Trump, the second attempt after the president was fired upon at a rally last year.
There just has been a spate of these things, and increasingly people who have angry political grievances will take them out in actual violence.
Matthew Wilson is a political science professor at SMU. He says the rise in political violence is similar to what the country saw in the late 1960s.
You had a spate of assassinations of major figures, people like Robert F. Kennedy being shot and Martin Luther King Jr. being shot. Sadly, we're seeing that reoccur because we're in a very polarized time.
He says the internet and social media only amplifies the polarization.
People really dial up their rage to maximum levels when they're communicating online in a way that they are less likely to do when they communicate face-to-face. So I think that's been an important transition. But the other thing is people enclose themselves in partisan information bubbles.
The violence reaches beyond the political realm. A young man is awaiting trial for murder, accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare in New York City. However, Wilson believes there are ways to restore decorum in civil discourse.
If we can do things in our culture to try to cultivate some level of empathy for and exposure to people who disagree with us politically, people who vote for other candidates, people who hold different preferences on social and political issues, that may be able to help in lowering the temperature and reducing some of this political violence.
In response to the increase of threats against lawmakers in July, Congress passed a bill that will give representatives additional funding for home security. This includes security cameras, home alarms, and even private security. Heather.
Amelia Jones, live tonight. Thank you.